Hello everybody, this is Toys R Us, and for this special figure showcase and review we're going to be looking at Magic Square's take on a Generation 1 Bruticus figure. So that is pretty much all we're going to be doing. You've already noticed, if you've been watching this channel long enough, that I've done individual reviews on all of these already, and then I've actually done updated reviews on 4 out of these 5 new colour schemes. So we're just going to look at the Gestalt right in front of us. We are of course going to bring in what he's based upon, and just for a bit of fun I've got the Combiner Wars one sort of teetering around here behind as well. So we'll bring all these in a second. So before we get started, I'd like to remind anybody who's not subscribed to the channel, if you'd hit that subscribe button for me now please, because it really will help me out, and also to thank Show Z, because that's where you can purchase all of these from. So as I say, the only one that's slightly different is this is MS B51, and if I'm being super honest, because I still haven't got the full clue with what they all refer to, because as I say, all the other ones have a C at the end of the letter. So I know they do cartoon, I know they do I think they do IDW, so colours, but again, I'm being completely honest guys, if you can help me out in the comments, that would also be great. As you can see, they do come in individual boxes, and even though they've released 3 different versions of these, there is still nothing out there for a fully combined mode. Yes, so for those of you who don't know what it is, this isn't licensed by Hasbro or Takara because he transforms, so they can't use the proper name. And do you know what, I'm not even sure what they're calling him. I'm just going to call him Bruticus, because of course he's Bruticus to me and you. Very quickly, before we do all the articulation and things, we can just see, I suppose, number one, how much engineering has improved over 40 years with regards to that one. But I've got to be honest, I think I still prefer that one. And indeed with over the last 10 years, because unbelievably now Combiner Wars is 10 years old, and that was one of the big things that a lot of us were talking about at MCN, that we just sort of can't believe, you know, how long ago Combiner Wars was. It is crazy. Let me just get all these standing by each other. So to give you an idea of scale, because these are classed as Legends scale figures, funnily enough, the fully combined mode is about as big as the Combiner Wars one, but the main difference with this is there's loads and loads of parts forming, whereas with this obviously you've got the bot, and I suppose if you count, you know, the fists and the chest, etc., that is parts forming as well, whereas with these that's the same. Whereas with the whole of the torso, the whole of, as I say, this sort of section here, they're all other parts which come separately as well. What I'm also doing is just bringing you in a couple of figures, again, because not everybody who watches these videos, including myself, you know, up until 2 years ago, do actually collect third party. So I'm giving you an idea of the height of it if you collect main line. So obviously that's a Voyager class, and that is 2 very different sized deluxe class figures. Right, I do actually have, by pure fluke, funnily enough, him here, which is another Magic Square figure, and this guy here, which is a Japanese G1 version. I see, well, it's a battle game, but we won't get into that. This is just, as I say, to give you an idea of scale and size before we look at the actual Bruticus figure itself. So that's New Age, that's Magic Square, and this one is your Iron Factory, as I say. So these are all other companies, and yeah, they basically just do that. They make our favorite characters, but without the licenses. It's a bit of a gray area actually, but yes, I'm just explaining it, I suppose, as best as I can. What I need to do now though is move these guys out of the way and just show you exactly what this figure can do. So first and foremost, I have to completely be honest with you, as I am with all of these, this has been an absolute nightmare for me to combine. I'm not even joking, it's awful. It's not fun. I say this quite a lot. Thankfully Brawl, you just sort of attached at the top. In fact, now, did Brawl come in tank? I can't remember. Maybe Brawl's was the easiest transformation. I can't remember. Swindles was awful. So yeah, so with these, oh, there you go. Let me just quickly do this. Let me show you. So obviously with the individual bots, with them they came their feet. The back of the legs actually came with one of the other bots. You'd have seen that in another video. And indeed, as I say, all of this is separate things. So this truly is parts forming. This attaches to the back as well. Now, what you can't argue with though is that this guy does look like he appeared in the cartoon. The only problem with this, and with pretty much most of the third party figures that I do review, and whether or not it's just me, just the transformation just makes them not fun. New Age aren't so bad. Magic Square for me, you'll notice that there's not really that many Magic Square transformation videos, and that is purely because exactly that, they drive me insane to the point where I don't actually want to do it. This was no not much better, to be honest. A little bit, but, you know, at least with the end goal. And I say this again with all figures, depends who makes them. You get to the end goal and it's at least it's worth it. It's definitely worth getting it to this particular mode. So the head is fully articulate. It will look up and down, around and round. The arms, these are all separate hinges, you can see, so you can just about get the T, but of course they are restricted by the rest of the vehicle in which they are. You can rotate them all the way around. There is a lot of articulation going on inside these. So you've got elbow flexion, the fists again you attach, so you've got full wrist rotation. You've got articulated hands up to the knuckles, to be honest, so the knuckles are fully articulated as well. There is a genuine ab crunch going on with this guy as well. That's not obviously transformation, that is an ab crunch. Let me just put that back. This as well as the waist swivel, and these are on ratchets, so you can see there's a bit of rotation there, but what you can do is you can flip up. Can you? I'm sure you can. Oh no, you can flip up the side skirts. There you go. So you can take it right out to the side, really far out to the side. You can go right for the splits, but looking at the rest, the back's going up. Surely the front does as well. Let's have a look. I don't know, maybe it doesn't. Maybe it's with these again, I'm always too nervous to sort of move them because they might just break. So it does go back, but not all of the way. So you can move some of the hip skirts. They are on very strong ratchets. I've just popped that off, but again you can see it will click on. No, he says no problem. Let's hope it does anyway. There we go. Fold that back down. Now there is a knee bend, but it is very stiff, and it does connect at the top of there. Same with the ankle tilt and rock. Now again, they are fully articulate. You can't argue with that, and as I've already said, you can't argue with the fact that it does look a little bit, well, not a little bit, a lot like the Generation 1 cartoon version of him. So that's the positives. As I say, the negatives is just these are not cheap figures either, because it's because of the engineering that goes into them. As I say, every company does that. The more engineering that goes into a figure, the more it costs, and of course, as I've already mentioned, the transformation process is a huge pain as well. There's the gun with the industry standard grip that will fit on the inside of the palm. But there he is. I've finally managed to get one combined up to see what he looks like. And yeah, you know, he looks like Bruticus. I'm not blown away. The reason being, as I say, was getting him into the position. To getting him like this, I could have got, you know, 3 or 4, maybe even 5 or 6 more reviews done. And that's probably why I'm a little bit behind actually getting him like this ready for this particular video. But there's nothing more to say about him. He looks good, he serves his purpose, and if you're collecting third-party legend scale figures, then obviously he's a great combiner, and he's always going to go down as one of the favorites. I'm actually really surprised that we haven't got a Battle Gaia, we haven't got a Ruination, and any of the others yet, but we've had 3 versions of the same sort of slightly different changed colors. Again, guys, if you can let me know what the A, B and C stands for in the comments, sorry, in the descriptions for these particular figures, that will greatly help me out, and of course the people watching, and for everybody else who has just watched this, thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, and of course, take care.